Now, welcome to a review of Ironheart episodes 4, 5, and 6, the finale, where once again we send it over to Naboo to start things off.
Watching these episodes finally explained to me the reason I had to watch the show in the first place.
You didn't have to watch the show.
No, you didn't have to, unless you wanted to see Mephisto finally show up.
Yeah, spoiler alert, I suppose, if you haven't seen the show and care, because that's
yeah.
the big reveal at the end.
I think that's the headline of every single article talking about the show, so I really doubt that I'm the one spoiling it.
No, I'm not implying that you're spoiling it, because as soon as it happened, that was actually
I honestly
all
can't
over Twitter or X,
believe they waited with Mephisto until this show.
I like that they tried to red herring, it's just Dormammu again.
I'm like, isn't Dormammu stuck in in his dimension? Yeah. And wasn't Doctor Strange going with Cleo to go and fix it?
Yeah, if Dormammu was trying to come back, wouldn't Doctor Strange be all over that anyway?
I did connect that the tattoos and Caecilius' eyes were sort of similar, but it wasn't the same color energy. Like, Caecilius' energy was more of a purpley, not the red.
Yeah.
But I do have to say that Sasha Baron Cohen was fantastic.
He was
dealing villain.
He's obviously done other things, humorous things, and he played a very, very, very serious character and played it very well, I must admit.
No, he was fantastic.
Yeah, that was really good.
He was a very good Mephisto.
Yes.
You had that one scene where you see the reflection of him looking more like his true self, and I was like, ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
When he was shaking hands, making the deal with Riwi at the end.
Which was surprising. I mean, to jump to the ending, she made the bad choice. She shook the hand of the devil and brought back her friend for real after losing the AI version of her.
Yeah, I definitely can say I enjoyed the last 3 episodes more than the first 3.
I would agree, yeah.
I continue to enjoy Zeke Stain, played by young Han Solo.
Yeah, all Ironheart, yeah.
I liked the whole play on when the news articles and his Karen across the street neighbor's like, you're destroying your father's legacy.
Yeah, I could see why that would be annoying.
What would your father think? And you're like, dude, my father was a supervillain. My father was a bad person. I'm not touching this.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. I thought it was hilarious because you got to see, how is the regular public seeing things happen.
Yeah,
and
through the Karen's eyes,
They don't get the information, so it's kind of cool. Because the audience, we know what happened, and so it's humorous.
Yeah, he was Ironmonger.
And then he was hijacked, and I pointed out to you right away when, Slug was, helping him put the implants in, that he, deleted his name and, wrote Parker's. I was like, yeah. That's all it takes to override code. I Parker.
What Parker? Peter Parker?
Well, I put, but at the same time, I'm you just changed the name, and somehow he has voice commands?
Don't look too deeply into it. A lot of things fall apart if you look deeply at them in this show, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I liked that Zeke was still, a good guy, bad guy.
He's he got screwed over. Yeah.
He got screwed over. He's like, hey, I'm fighting Riwi, but I let her go. I told her, just get out of town, Riwi. Get out of town.
But she can't. She's a hero. Her.
Yeah.
Well, sort of.
So I'm curious if they have plans for him in the future, maybe?
I mean, I guess... Because, there's even implications there at the end, because there's a post-credit scene. So there are things set up, and you're like, are we ever going to get this? Because I'm assuming this show is not doing very well in the ratings department. From what we've seen so far, anyway.
I did also really like the little magic shop, Stantons.
That was one of the more interesting parts of the show.
Oh, yeah, you totally checked in for that.
I was all in, yeah. I wasn't like, I need to...
Zelma and her mom were great. I really liked how they were explaining deep stuff, but they were doing it in a very natural way. Listening to their conversation, you figured out that she got, pregnant or something when she was studying at Carmitage.
Yeah.
And was like, oh, no, I'm not going to raise my baby here. And so she left, and then the kid's like, well, I want to go to Carmitage. And she's like, yeah, but you developed your own form of magic without being there. So I thought it was really cool because, Zelma's in the comic book. She was, a librarian at Strange Academy and stuff. So, cool. There were still definitely messy things, though, in the show. No explanation about mixing tech and magic. You just somehow, insert it into the machine
because reasons. And then they, it deletes the AI and, it becomes, a mystery, why, and that doesn't get answered or anything. It's just just deleted it, and we're just going to leave that hanging.
Well, it's you have to sacrifice something. Why would it delete an AI? I would feel like it almost would have... Instead, what I thought it was going to do was, take memories of either Gary or Natalie from her.
Yeah.
I thought it might take memories so that all of a sudden she looks at the AI Natalie and is like, who are you again? Yeah. That would have hit me a lot harder to be like, oh my goodness. To do the right thing, she gave up the memories of essentially her sister.
Yeah. But it was the deletion of the AI which pushed her to actually take Mephisto's deal. So maybe he had something to do with it.
He must have, because they were playing with Mephisto magic when they shouldn't have been.
Mephisto magic, yeah.
Yeah, so he deleted the AI on purpose. He takes from you something on purpose to spur you into accepting the deal.
Yeah.
At least that's kind of how I saw it with her, specifically. But yeah, tech and magic, very different. I was hoping there was going to be more of an explanation of how those things melded. Also, I felt really sad about the motivation for our villain, Hood. He sold his soul for money.
For power.
It's just cliche.
The king of the world. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he had so much, like, deeper trauma in regards to his dad, who, like, abandoned him. He's like, I really don't care about you, so I just let you go.
Yeah.
He has all this, like, deep issues, and he's just like, I want power and money. I want to be greasy, filthy, rich.
Yeah.
I was, like, surprised he came clean. He's the one who killed Rampage, but he didn't kill the group when they betrayed him.
Well, he cared about them or something.
Rampage was a part of his group.
Yeah, but Rampage was kind of like the outsider of the group. He needed to be replaced, so he wasn't exactly the key member, right?
They did develop Riwi better in the second half with her paranoia about Hood coming after her family, kind of transitioning into the fact that she's like unable to forgive herself for not being able to protect her loved ones or save them when that incident happened in the past where they passed. I don't know if I would buy, though, that she would really sell her soul to Mephisto. Not to bring back a dead friend. I mean, if that was the case, she could have bargained for Gary, too.
Well, yeah. I don't know. There was a better effort in, like you said, the second half of the season was better than the first, but it still wasn't good.
Well, she saw what Mephisto's magic did to Hood, to Parker, and she knew how Nat's brother reacted to seeing her as the holographic AI. So I was kind of hoping the show would, and this is what I thought would happen, I should say, was that the show would end on this move of her coming to terms with them passing, remembering the good times like AI Nat tried to do for her. Instead, she's clinging to ghosts, and she took the bad path, the unexpected path, the non-hero path.
It subverted her expectations.
But kind of in a good way? To see that she still can't give these things up.
Well, sure. I mean, I thought there was, not that we, need to deal with modern audience type things all the time, but there was an interesting potential there to do something with the AI and how she brought her back, and again, the grief, and like, these are questions I feel like humanity will face in the not too distant future of kind of, not necessarily bringing people back, but I mean, we've already seen people like making AI programs of loved ones, and is that ethical? Is that how we should help people deal with grief?
About that Caprica.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Caprica's a great show. It's well ahead of its time because we are now kind of facing things like that, or will be soon. So I felt like there was more there to explore, and it just kind of like didn't. Like I said, her brother was the one who was like, this is an abomination, essentially, which... This
is wrong, but her mother was like, can you make one of Gary?
Yeah, which,
It shows opposite ends of the spectrum, too.
Yeah, but they didn't really explore that. It was just like, there's his opinion, here's hers, and that was kind of that.
But all that matters was Riwi's. How is her brother going to react when she sells her soul to bring her back from the dead?
Yeah, how do you explain that one?
I mean, Riwi now going forward, if whatever they go forward with, is now going to be kind of maybe a villain or someone in need of saving herself. I had no expectations for the show, but now I'm more interested in general because of Mephisto.
Yeah.
I was more interested now that it's bringing in that than I was when it was solely kind of Riwi, and I want to know what his future in the MCU is going to be. He says he's been making deals with the top 100 richest people while I've made deals with... So it makes me wonder, I mean, did he ever try to make a deal with Stark?
Well, Stark wouldn't have bought into the magic thing. Stark was always so anti-magic that I don't know that he would even...
But he did say he'd made deals with all the richest people.
Well,
so would he have ever tried to have made...
Yeah, I'm sure he tried.
I don't know how long he's been operating.
Well, he's been operating a very long time. I know that, but I'm just...
So there was that whole... Like, maybe he's run into him but didn't take him seriously and just didn't accept a deal.
Yeah.
He also made an agreement to help Madison leave his domain. Remember when she's like, Jeff the Goat, and
I
have a deal, but I can't talk about it. Yeah.
We forget about
Madison has been there too.
We just pretend that show never happened.
Yeah. So I'm kind of happy I chose to watch the show. It offered something different than what I expected. So
sure.
Good on them, I think.
That's probably the best.
It was something different.
Probably the best way to put it is the show wasn't exactly what I expected in terms of how it went and taking the deal in the end. And I never would have thought Mephisto would be in the show. I mean, I had heard, like, right before it came out that magic would be involved, and I didn't immediately go, well, Mephisto's obviously.
Yeah, well, I knew because of
kind of the running
magic,
joke.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, it's kind of been the running joke that Mephisto is, I mean, ever since WandaVision, people were thinking Mephisto was there, so, I don't know. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was Meh. It was
Do you
average.
want to put it on the hammer scale then for us at a 1
1
through
to
10?
10?
That's how the scale works. 1 to 10.
I'll give it a 5.
I think I'm gonna give it a 6.
Really?
Yeah. I think by the end of it, I appreciated it more than I did at the beginning because of the theming and this.
I think you could have done more
the
with
second
that, though.
half enhanced the first half.
The second half was more enjoyable. I just feel like
it was deeper. The first half was more like catchy, actiony stuff.
yeah.
And then they kind of moved into let's clean this up. Maybe a 5.5.
That's fair. I don't know. I felt like there were a lot of opportunities to do more, and as long as the runtime was, like each episode felt like 45 to 50 minutes. They had so much time to work with. I felt like you could have done a little more with some of this. I don't know.
Maybe they should have had more episodes. I don't know.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't think it was terrible, but it wasn't great. It had its moments. It
I'd
had
like
some
to know
surprises.
how to turn a car into a suit of armor.
Yeah, it had its moments too in that department where you're like, oh.
I went to the junkyard and got more parts. Okay. I mean, Tony Stark did
In a cave?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, the old saying.
out of sophisticated missiles
scraps.
and stuff that he had.
Yeah, it wasn't just a box of scraps. It was his
Jericho
weapons.
missiles and
Yeah,
things.
yes. Anyway, I think that's all we got for you this time. Your turn to take to the comments below. If you have seen Ironheart, what did you think of the last 3 episodes? Do you want to see this story carried on somewhere, or do you just not want to see
Young
it ever
Avengers.
again?
It's coming.
Could be. Whatever the case may be, though, leave your comments below. Let's talk some Marvel, and until next time, thanks for watching.